This past week I needed a few things from the grocery store, and so I went and I was very proud of myself because first I started with the vegetables and the fruits, and I got quite a bit there. And then I went and got some meat and then some cereal. And then I was slowly making my way over to the milk and cheese. And after I picked those up, I noticed my favorite aisle in the whole store, the whole grocery store, the ice cream aisle. And before I came in, I told myself that I'm not going to go down that aisle because I know if I do, I'm going to end up bringing ice cream home. So as I was picking up the milk and cheese, I kept looking, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go over and take a peek. I just want to see the aisle. And so I went over and took a peek, and it's like the whole aisle was glowing. It was so incredible. The lights and the different... It was amazing. And so I thought to myself, well, you know what, I know I wasn't going to, but I'm just going to walk down and just look at the different ice creams. You know, there's so many and they're all so good. So walked down and was looking at them. And then I found my favorite one. And what did I notice? But just underneath it, there was a sign that said it was on sale. And so I thought to myself, wow, this is a really good deal and it's really good ice cream. Can I pass that up? And before you know it, the tub of ice cream was in my cart, I'd paid for it, and I was at home eating it already. What a terrible thing if you're trying not to eat ice cream. Today, in the Imitation of Christ, we have some very important words, I think, from Thomas à Kempis. This is what he says. He says, "It's not good to be taken in by every word or impulse that comes our way, but consider the thing prudently and thoughtfully, in order not to offend God." In doing things upon impulse is sometimes good and it's sometimes not so good. In the case where it would be good is if we see something where we need to act now, that someone is in need or there is some great good that we can accomplish. If we see someone in distress or someone needs our help, and for that we go on impulse. We go and we do it right away. We don't hold back. We don't wait for another day. We don't say someone else will do it. We go and do it right away. But impulse can also have this other side to it, where it leads us to things maybe that are bad, or even just things that aren't the best, that we could do better. This is the case of me with the ice cream, you know. What I should have did going in was say to myself, you know, instead of just saying no to ice cream, maybe I can say yes to something else. So often it helps to say yes instead of just depriving ourselves. So I could have said, you know, something else I really like is olives, you know, so maybe to treat myself, I'll get a few olives, and that'll help me to avoid the ice cream, you know, and maybe that would have helped. But even in other areas, we struggle with being impulsive, you know. For some people, maybe it's going to the mall. They say, you know, they'll go with their friends, they'll just walk around the mall. They're not going to buy anything, they're just going to walk. But then they end up coming home with boxes of stuff. Or even someone who might struggle with lust, that they go on their internet, on their computer, and they say, you know, I'm just going to look at the sports or the news or something. But before they know it, a few ads pop up and they find themselves in this terrible state. And so being impulsive has good sides to it. There's good things, but there's also danger as well. And that it's very important that we realize that we are more than our impulsive desires. And that really our impulses are to be directed by our reason, by our intellect. You see, with animals, all they have is impulse. So for them, they desire something and they do it. And it's not right or wrong, they just do it. It cannot be right or wrong because they can't think about it. Whereas for us, we're called to more than that. We have our bodies, yes, and desires, yes, but we also have an intellect and mind, and we can think things through beforehand to see what is the prudent thing to do. What should I really do in this case? What's the best thing? And then even more than that, than our intellect, is our spirit. And to say, how can I most please God? How can I give Him the greatest glory? If we want to grow in our spiritual life, this is definitely something we have to think about. Am I too impulsive? Do I have to maybe try to control my desires, my impulses more? Not just to say no to them, but so that we can say yes to God, and so that we can serve Him better.